Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's 1:39 p.m. here, 2:39, and we've had our 2:30 reversal up here. Uh, I had sold at T plus 2 high, which is 43.54, and then I added another one down here at 43.40. As soon as I get that, see that arrow? As soon as I get the red arrow, this is underneath the cloud, I take the short. Here's a pullback. Should be a pullback. Not very. Shouldn't be very far, because here's the 90-minute VWAP. It popped up the VWAP, hung out up here for a while, came almost up to the extension. See where the extensions are? Almost up to that extension, and that's why you kind of have to pay attention to the extensions. See how it broke out down here? How it came down, rode the extension, and then broke out. Came back down and retested and broke out. So we were going back. We went back and we went back up there. That's why we went back up there. We came down here, went back up, almost to that extension. Okay, which tells me the short is still in play. We did not pop above these extensions. We didn't get there. Okay. So what that means is these are pointing down. It's starting to flatten out. But these are pointing down. Came right back up. Was not even able to touch them. So the short is still in play. Short move is still in play. We're not going back up. Okay, at least not now. So here we go. So we come down. Here's my second contract off. We're up into my 6834 cloud here, and it's moving down. And here we come. So we're coming back up here. We got a nice rejection here. We should come down. Oh, we're looking at somewhere, Globex open, and then here's my Globex open, midnight open are my two targets because I've got two on. So actually, where am I? The Asian Open down there, 41.39.50. I might move that up. That's the T plus 2 close, because I bounced off the T plus 2 high, come down to the T plus 2 close. It may go ahead and do what it did 2 days ago. So here's the previous day's close. We're probably going to get a reaction down there. We got a reaction here. When it came down here, it was coming out of the cloud, or coming out of the extension right here. Now that's the extension for the 90-day for the 90-minute VWAP. Came down here, hit that level. What's that level? Gee, that's a T plus 2 halfback. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go up somewhere between the T plus 2 high and the T plus 2 halfback. Okay, which was, let's see, let's figure this out real quick. Okay, T plus 2 high. Where's my T plus 2 halfback? Right there. And 60, not even to the 61.8. Let me fix this. I'm having to fix this. I've had to fix this all week, and oh well. Anyway, so it came back to the 50% mark there, which is T plus 2 high, T plus 2 halfback. It came back, rode that 50% between 50 and 61.8, and now it's coming down, right? And then it rejected off that. So up, came back up, popping above the cloud, retesting that 90-minute VWAP, which is red. Okay, so here may be another place to get in short. Let's see here. By the way, this is all live. This is not replay. I don't have replay on. I'm just sitting here watching it. I don't think it's going to come back up and hit that T plus 2 high. We have a poly level up here. So I could take the high here and do a measured move. The high and the low down here is right around 61.8, 50 to 61.8, right down here somewhere. So I mean, just for grins, let's just do that. I'm just curious. Yeah, there's 50, the 50% and 61.8. Keep doing this. One of these days I'll fix this. Okay, so there's between 50 and 61.8 of that measured move coming between 50 and 61.8. So now we're coming down. Now we got a red arrow. The red arrow is basically saying we're going to come down. We retested this PM true open, which is right above the 90-minute VWAP, which is right in this between 50 and 61.8. Now we're going to come down. And what time is it? 14:45. So this was just an attempt to push that up to the the 230 reversal. It was just an attempt to push that up. Either that or somebody's just taking profits down here. That was the overnight high. So we should, if we push through that overnight, there's the previous day's high we pushed through. We came down to the overnight high, rejected, pushed back up. We should break the overnight high coming down. If you look at it in terms of here's your move here, and here's your reversal here. So we should come back down. Oh, and you're looking at probably, based on the pullback, you're looking at down here somewhere. So London True Open, or Asian True Open, somewhere down here. That's that negative. That's a 50% line. So it should come down somewhere right in here. Okay. So let me get rid of that. Okay. So let's. What do you say we watch? And I may speed this up, or I may just pause this for a while because it's it's in the afternoon. I mean, who wants to sit here and watch this stuff, right? It's like watching grass grow and paint dry, unless you get a counter move, which, see this guy here, this guy flattened out, okay? So you're expecting a bounce there, okay? I expected a bounce there, which I did, right back up to VWAP, rejected VWAP. Now we're going to come down. Now we should push through this. Sometimes you'll get a bounce twice. That's a volatility stop. Sometimes you get that volatility stop bounce twice, sometimes once, sometimes twice. Now it just broke through it, okay? It bounced there, came back up to VWAP. There's your other, if you didn't get in short here, you could get in short right here. And then let's just write it down for a while. But I already had one, I already had a contract in up here. So at the arrow. So I'm just watching, just playing here, just watching, and let's just see what happens. I think I'm gonna pause this for a few minutes, just because nobody wants to sit here and watch grass grow and paint dry. But I did want to see what happened up here and have that recorded so I could call it. See, came up, came down, bounced off here, bounced through the 90-minute VWAP, and then down. That 90-minute VWAP is very, very useful. There's the daily VWAP. The daily VWAP is kind of useless at this point because it's just kind of flattened out, right? But you want to catch these. You want to catch these moves. So you watch the VWAP, 90-minute VWAP, and you want to watch the extensions, right? Now, see where they came. See where this came down, and then this came back up. See the extensions? You have a little squeeze area right here. That's your little squeeze area, right there. And then what happened? It just came back down. Okay, tried to squeeze. You weren't able to hit here. And you could use Bollinger Bands, you could use Keltner channels, you could use all kinds of stuff. I kind of like Bollinger Bands because you'll see the Bollinger squeeze. You'll see these things, two things coming together, and you absolutely can see the squeeze, and you can see the push up higher where it didn't quite push up higher, right? And so it came down. Came down here, pushed back up to that, between 50 and 61.8, and now we're selling. So you've got previous day's high here. You've got the T+2 half back, which was, like from 2 days ago. That's the half back from 2 days ago. Bounced off T+2 high, so it should come down at T+2 close. So I've got one at T+2 close, and I got one at true day or midnight open. Basically, that's true day / midnight open. And then you've got New York True Open, which is the 7 a.m. open right down there. That pink right below it, right here. So, okay, I expect it to come down. We've got the cloud cross right here. The 34 is above the 68. So I expect a little bit of a bounce up here, and then to come back down through the cloud and break the cloud. We should break the cloud. Should come back up. See how these are pinning off that? This is a 512 volume chart, by the way, and I really like this. I really like this chart because it shows me moves and gets me in a lot better than the Flex Renko that I was using before, like a 420 Flex Renko. I was using that. Well, what I didn't like about the Flex Renko is those are artificial bars. These are not. These are basically, true bars. So, but you can see price action with these things. You don't have to have the Flex Renkos, and they're more accurate. Okay, so we had a reject to the upside. Here's another push to the upside above the 34. Let's see what happens. They did bounce off that they wicked off that 68, came back up, previous day's high. Somebody's trying to drive it back up there, and I am quite sure that they're trying to drive that up there to load up on more shorts. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, now we're coming down nicely. We're below the 34. So you would be safe you'd probably be safe in taking a trade right there. If you wanted to do a scalp trade back down to the bottom of the cloud, or if you wanted to come in here and just take a long move. Looks pretty safe. I would keep my stop back a little bit just in case it popped back up there. But as you can see right here, it's just coming. It's just coming. It's making lower highs right here. So you can see that. Just make lower highs, and so we should come back down. It rejected here, right? Rejected at the bottom of the cloud. Came back up to the top of the cloud. Peaked up to the top of the cloud. Look above and fail. Now we should fail here and come back down. We should not go back up at this particular point. So let's see if we can get a nice long selling bar here. Let's see if we can do that. So we can get a nice long selling bar. I like those nice long combination selling bars. By the way, you can also put the strat on here. The strat works great on these, especially if you want larger moves. If you put the strat on some of these candles, these volume candles, delta volume or volume candles, it works very, very well on. You do not have to use minute candles to use the strat if you are a strat person, okay? You don't have to use that. You can put them basically on any chart. Now you're going to get a bunch of longs and shorts and stuff in here. Now if you're scalping for a few ticks, that's great. But if you're not, well, you might want to make these a little bit bigger. Excuse me. I like these because they are small enough to where they can get me in. This would be like a 1 tick or a 4 tick chart, 4 tick range chart. Very similar to that. The 4 tick range charts. I'm not sure that they work really, really well in the strat. I haven't played with them, but I will probably make a video. Like, say for example, take today, because we had nice long moves up, nice long moves down, that sort of thing. Back and forth and back and forth. There was a lot of two-way action, a lot of two-way money today. So I might, as my next video, just do a strat, because I really like the strat. It's a nice system. I might make another video on basically take a day like today where there's two-way money and say, okay, fine, which chart would be best to put this on, to put the strat on, to get like some nice moves, even if you're scalping, say for example, you're scalping for 9 ticks, that's $100 on the ES, $100 plus commission, okay? So that would be really, really nice to do. what chart would be best to put that would show those kind of moves? Well, maybe that's my next video. I'll play with that. I'm going to be gone this weekend, so occupied, so I'm not going to be able to do anything that way, but I will do that video. Now, what's really cool, you can see the price action right here. See that right there? What you can see is, and let me make that a little there. Let me make that a little bigger and move this back over a little bit. I like to keep my charts where I could see the price action, a good overall view. But see where we had the doji? There's it's a nice run up, doji, nice run down. That's a nice little scalp move as you clear the body of this guy. You can take the short. That's a, that's just an inside candle. I like inside candles, and I like look above and fail. They two UF, two up failures, which basically pops above and then comes back down. Like this guy, this is a two up failure. It pops back up, and we expected that to hit that 90-minute VWAP and do that, and then bounce back down. Okay, so I like that for a scalp, and you would, and what you would do is you would take that first red candle, the bottom of that first red candle there. That's where your target would be. So you could short here. You know where your target is. Okay, that would be your first target off. Your second target would be the next red candle down, bottom of the next red candle. So it would be right in here. So scalping that move right here from about 43, say 43.37 down to 43.31, that's 6 points. 6 points at 2 contracts. That's not bad. That's not bad money at all. Okay. So, and there was just one that I just looked at and saw. Okay, I just looked and saw that. You could take the up move here. You could take the down move here, and that would be an early short. Here's a retest of the 90-minute VWAP, which is not at all surprising. You had the candle flip, you had the cloud flip here, which basically indicated that we were going to go up a little bit. You saw it turn green here, which pushed back up. It was a look above and fail of that 90-minute VWAP. Okay, now it's coming back down. You had the cloud twist here, came down. You're following this guy, and then pop back up and retesting of the 90-minute VWAP. I didn't think it was going to come back that far, but it is what it is. So when you came back down here, right? If you shorted, like I said, hey, you could take a short right here, right? If you took a short, go right back down to the bottom of the cloud when you saw that doji right there, the indecision candle. It's like, okay, get out of your short. You could flip back to the long if you wanted to. Okay. Here's a nice candle. I don't particularly trade these kind of candles because those are like combination candles, like a nice long one, and then it shuts off right there and then comes back down. I am not especially a fan of trading those kind of candles, but here we go. We just wicked off that 90-minute VWAP. Now I'm looking for a fast move down. I'm looking for a relatively fast move down. This is okay. We're almost at. We're coming up on 3 o'clock. So let's see what happens at 3 o'clock. They keep trying to push that up. They keep trying to they keep trying to do the look above thing, and it should push back up and fail at this particular point. So you had this here. You had the reject at the bottom of the cloud. Then the cloud turned green. Okay, so the long is in play, right? So how far are we going to go? Well, here's where it rejected before. Okay, so there's your doji, right in this area. This is where it rejected before. So there was where your indecision, where people were going, well, okay, fine, I'm taking my profit right there and I'm getting out. So I'm expecting some sort of a move down at this particular point. I don't expect to move up. I don't too far above this. Looks like we're going to get one. So if you were long there, if you took long here, pull back to the cloud, pop back up, I would have taken profit at that VWAP. Okay, I would not have flipped that and looked at this guy. But it pushed up a little bit farther. That was probably, it's probably stop run for the shorts. You know, yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna run your stops and then come back down. So here we go. This was a 2-up failure candle right there. Now we're starting to get a down arrow there. So a 2-up failure candle right here. That indicates to me that we're going to come down. We may not come down that much, but we're going to come down. Okay, it may bounce around a little bit, but that one there, it's what JJ VWAP Trader 1, it's what JJ probably would call a look above and fail, because it looked above the VWAP here and then failed, came back down, looked above. They're trying to push that back up. To me, what this says, and you're looking at the timing, it's 3 o'clock. What they're trying to do is they're trying to buy it up as far as possible in order to sell some. You know, get the best possible price and then sell. Oh, I forgot to. There. Okay, Globex open. I'll see if I'm. You know, like I said, I have been looking for a move, a nice move down up here. It could fool me. Okay. Here's the volatility stop right here. Okay, we haven't penetrated the volatility stop, and the cloud's still red. Or, sorry, the cloud is still green. See where it's green? Turn red a little bit right there, but it was generally speaking, it was green. The 34 was above the 68, right? So that's generally speaking a long move. I'm holding for a little bit longer because I was in at the top, but we'll see what happens here. In generally speaking, if you have that green cloud and the 34 is above the 68, you're going long. Generally speaking, going long. That's a pullback, and that would be a pullback move for the long, right? And we're still following the 34, still following the cloud up, right? Now this cloud is in the background. The reason why it's jagged, a little bit jagged like that, is because it's on a 30-second chart. So the cloud is being projected on a 30-second chart. These are linear regression moving averages. These are not standard moving averages. Linear regression moving averages predict price a little bit better. So probably should, if I was gonna go for a short-term move, I would have flipped. I would have flipped down here. I would have flipped down here. The little doji. As long as it's, doesn't penetrate the bottom of that cloud, and the 34 is above the 68, you're good. You're good for the long. Conversely, for the short move, same thing. The 68 is above the 34, and you can see where that flipped right there. And came back down, and now we're going to go back up for a bit. When we retest this area right up in here, when we retest this guy, and they're trying to push it up to retest this because this is where the end of value would be. We should come back on 15,304. We probably got another few minutes before market on the market on close orders will come in about what, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 3:30, 3:45, something like that. I don't remember when those market on close orders come in, but now we're pushing up. So you saw this in real time. We're just playing with it. You saw it in real time. Come down here, had the doji, come back up. The 68 is above the 34. 34 is above the 68. Sorry, 34 is above the 68, which means we're biased long, right? So had a doji down here at the bottom, indecision candle, which means we're going to go back up. Okay, Now we had an indecision candle right up here. This is a poly level of 4340. And here is your extension from your, I believe that's the 90-minute VWAP. Your 90-minute VWAP extension right there. So let's see if we come down. These poly levels, by the way, these are pretty good levels. Those are pretty good levels when you get up to there. When you either get down or get up to there, the market usually has some sort of a reaction to them of some sort. So now we're fiddling around here. Got a doji, got another doji. See if we come down. These volume candles are really, really nice because you can tell stuff like right here. There's a nice doji. You know, where's there another nice doji? There's a nice doji there. There's one there. There's one there where you got a green candle, a doji, and a red candle, right? That's a nice little pattern for a reversal. Green, doji, red. See, red, doji, green. Look on for those. Green, doji, red coming down. So look for those and see what happens. Look for those and see if that particular pattern, green, doji, red, red, doji, green, indicates that you would have a really nice move either up or down. Okay, now we have pushing down to the downside. We got a down arrow here. It came on a little bit late, but you know, it looks at structure. It doesn't look at things like that. It doesn't look like dojis and things. If I put the strat on there, it would show dojis and things. So it went up. The other thing that happened, you can, and I don't, because it's so far down here, I'm always focused on the candles. I'm focused on what's going on up here, and I don't look down, right? And I should, because this, see this trend strength here, and all that is just a up-down volume. It's a special up-down volume ratio that's been modified. Anyway, so you're coming back here, right? You've got a down arrow, okay? What that means is, that doesn't mean immediately take the short. What that means is those particular candles there are indicating it's going to be it'll probably be a short. So what you're looking for is you're looking for a pullback up into that particular area where those red candles are, and then the short will usually usually come down. Like say for example here, it had a pullback, had a short arrow here, but had a pullback, right? Had a long arrow there, pullback, right? So that's just indicating to you that, you know, wait for the pullback in order to go in that direction. Wait for the pullback in order to go in that direction. Okay, wait for the pullback. It's short, indicating short. Wait for a pullback in order to go in that direction, in order to go short. So let's see what happens. See, we just had somebody basically come back in here and probably getting out of their positions right there at 3650. So there, now we've got a nice, looks like we're going to have a nice move. We came down through the cloud, we came back up to the cloud, but we didn't come up to, as long as we don't hit the top of that cloud, or as long as we don't violate the top of that cloud, it would be an early short position. But I would wait for the pullback and then it come down. See, you can see the flashing red there? The flashing red is basically saying that it's setting up for a short move. It may not be a long move, but it's starting to set up for a short move. So they keep pushing it back up, and so once that, see, it didn't form, so that's it's not valid anymore. So So we're just pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. See what happens. And it should come back up in this area here. And like I'd said before, it should come back up here and fail and flip over. Let's see what happens. Now we're above that doji, see? So we had that up here, but I said if this, if basically it turns around at the top of the cloud, we're going to come down, which it didn't, okay? We flipped to the long, so the short is not, that's why you wouldn't just jump in and grab a short. The short's not valid at that particular point. The cloud's still green, long is still in play. Just like here, you came back to the bottom of the cloud, turned around, came back to the bottom of the cloud, retested, came back around here, the long is still in play. So you wouldn't necessarily get out of your long yet. You could, if you wanted to. If you could, if you wanted to take profit up here, here's a nice doji, green doji, red candle. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see if it comes down. I see that green doji red. I'm thinking about getting out. Green doji red. I'd be thinking about getting out of my long. They're going to push it up. Boom, boom, boom. This is nice. This is a nice move, and you guys saw it, and I called it, and you saw it on the right-hand edge of the chart, and I called it. So we're, the long's still in play. You had that nice long, little bitty short ATR flip right here, and then you flip right back to the long. So it was a nice short flip there. Okay, so the long is the long is still in play. And you could see here in the trend indicator where it came down and dipped and then popped back up and came down and dipped and popped back up. We're pushing on the same kind of volume here. We're pushing up on that, and we're pushing back up into this area. So, like I said, I'm expecting. I'm not going to call the short yet, but I'm expecting a short move up here. Now, if you got out of your long, if you got out of your long here, it's probably a good move. Okay. Now you've got. I don't like these big bars here, but. These big reversal bars, because they're unpredictable. How long does a reversal bar have to be before it's a reversal bar? You can say, well, the close, the close of the green bar, and then it closes red. Yeah, that's a pretty good indicator. See where this thing is getting nice and short and tiny here. Now you got a doji here, you got a doji here. Let's see if it'll come back down. It should come back down at this particular point because you've gotten real close to this guy. At 4 o'clock this afternoon, in 45 minutes, Powell's going to speak. That may factor into what's going on. Yeah, I should have gone live on YouTube on this. I could have done a live stream. Yeah, I should have done a live stream. Oh well. Anyway, you're still pushing up. I'm expecting a short somewhere in this area here, right? Okay. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Okay, here we go. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to make an adjustment here. Okay, so what's happening is you're coming down, you're coming up in this area here. Still long. See, I mean, it's still predominantly long from down here. So, the cloud flipped, you're above the cloud, came back down, retested the bottom of the cloud, and everything's green. Retested the bottom of the cloud, everything's green. So, this thing looks really good. Okay, I made another adjustment there. Okay, so it's coming back up. Long from here, you know, you just follow it up. Here's a pullback here, right? There. It's basically has not violated the bottom of the cloud yet. So we're still going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. The buyers are just, you know, buyers are relentless, but you can see it in the chart, okay? Now, I expected a turnaround here, right? Well, they're not turning it around. Okay, well, that's cool. You know, I said I expected it. I didn't say it was guaranteed. I expected a turnaround up here, but I didn't get it. Okay, that's fine. I'm just watching this cloud. I'm watching to see what happens. I'm not calling anything. Just watching to see what happens. We may do a retest of this T+2 high. And there was the current high up here. Maybe a retest of this T+2 high, maybe a retest of this poly level. The poly level bounced, but then it came back up, bounced here, came back down to the poly level and bounced off to the upside. If you're watching poly levels, these are really good. Okay, so the cloud is, you know, we're above the cloud. We're everything is green. Everything is green. Everything is green. Everything is green. So nice buying, really nice buying. Nice run up here. The cloud is working absolutely perfectly today. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful. Now where's the next poly level up? So if you're long multiple contracts, the poly levels are stuff like, okay, fine, take profit. There's a poly level, take profit. There's a poly level, take profit. Take another contract off. You know, lock in some profit. So, see, 43, 47. Now the volatility stop is, you know, is just moving up. The volatility stop moving into the cloud, which, you know, means you may get a pullback into the cloud right here. Cloud's starting to thin out. It was relatively thick here. Now it's starting to get a little bit thin. Bounce off 34, more action to the upside. No sign of a turnaround yet. Although we are at the extensions. We're extension of the 90-minute, and we're very extended from the daily VWAP. 90-minute VWAP is green, cloud is green, everything looks good, all systems go for the longs. No reason to get out. As one of my first trading people said, David from Trading Fibs, as he would say, no reason to get out of this long. Not yet. Not yet. See, now we're extended. See the way we're riding this thing? We're riding that extension. Now what will happen is when you get a reversal, you'll be riding this thing, and then all of a sudden it'll start coming back down. It'll start waffling around here, just some consolidation between those two lines, between the two dotted lines, and then it'll break through. It'll come down. So once we came back down into we hit the top of this zone here, the extension zone. Now we're coming back down. It's my experience that it'll waffle around a little bit here, and then once it'll break through the cloud decisively, I'll get a sell arrow up here somewhere, and then it'll come back down. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna put this thing on pause because I've got a Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Sugar in front of me, and these things are really, really good. But I don't want you to hear this popping the top on this dumb thing. So I'm gonna pause this thing just a second. Okay, there we go. More live action, more live calls, more live whatever. Okay, now we see the waffling around down here. See the consolidation? They're just waffling around up here. They're just, they're trying to sustain that up move, but they can't because they're too far extended from that 90-minute VWAP and the daily VWAP. They're very far extended, so they're not able to extend it. Now let's see if we get a couple of candles break through that, then that's going to be a nice sign for a short, for a possible short. We're not ready for the short yet. We're still up here. They're still pushing it. As you can see, we rejected the bottom here, reject the bottom, so more upside. So you took, if you were long here, you took one off here, you took one off here. If you're on the micros or the minis, whatever, doesn't matter. Take one off there, take one off there to the next one. And then I would close out my position if it came up here to that current high, that T+2 high. I would close out my position. Between the space between here and here is a lot. That's a space between here and here is not very much, but space between here and here is a fair bit. So I would watch that, watch that T+2 high and get out of my position if it drove up there. But I don't think it's going to. See what's happened? It rode that extension. Now it's not able to ride it anymore. They're not able to push it back up there. They've pinned off this guy. They're not ready to sell, but they're not ready to. It looks like the buying is slowing down a little bit. So we're waffling around in here. We should break down decisively through this cloud. Not the cloud. I mean, I'm talking about this guy. Relatively soon. What's happened is we're down below the cloud. The cloud's still moving up, but we're below the cloud. See the cloud starting to flatten out? This is your warning sign. This is a warning that says setting up for a short. See where we're pushing up. We're still in the extension. See the extensions here? Those dotted lines, the white dotted lines. We're still in the VWAP extensions. We're still pushing up. But the 34 and the 68 have flattened out, which means there's a warning that we're probably going to short it soon. Probably going to come back down soon. Where the buyers definitely are running out of. They're starting to run out of steam a little bit. Now this is like, say for example, like an RSI. This is like an RSI. The RSI is 100% or 70% or whatever, and people always want to talk about, oh, it's oversold, it's oversold, it's oversold. Well, that's a retail trading term. Professionals never use that term. Professionals will use terms like, this is premium discount pricing. Well, this is pretty premium pricing up here. Because what happened the last time they were up here? They sold it, right? We're getting pretty close to that area where they sold it before, right? Now, we're trading below, even though the cloud is green, we've dipped significantly below the cloud. Now we're pushing back up. Now we're starting to ride that line again, right? Probably people taking profits back here, and then they bought it right there at the bottom of that. Now it's coming back up above the line, above the moving average, the moving average cloud. And I know people laugh at moving averages, but they can be useful. They can be. Volatility stops and moving averages and all that kind of stuff. Again, it was a warning, but we're not quite ready to get out of our short or out of our long yet. Now we're getting a couple of nice nice red candles here, but we've had that before. See, everything's starting to see the cloud is starting to thin out a little bit here. Starting to thin out. We're at the top of the sky. This is telling me, okay, we're thinking about a short. We're really thinking about a short here. Market's going to come down. We've had two candles. Now we're trading below the cloud. Okay, we're starting to trade. If this candle closes red, you might want to think about getting out and thinking about short. At least getting out of your long trade. Let's see how far if they'll push it. It's 1527. It's almost 1530. People usually trade mock madness. Okay, now they're pushing it back up again. I think that was the last gasp of the buyers. People trade mock madness, the mock stuff. People trade that, but today Powell is speaking at 4 o'clock, so that could throw a monkey wrench into all of this. Right about now, about 30 minutes before Chairman Powell's speech, people, if they didn't get advance copies of his speech last night, the guys down at the bottom of the food, a little closer to the bottom of the food chain, are starting to get copies, probably starting to get copies, advanced copies of that speech, so they know what they're going to do, what he's going to say. And now they can plan their strategy appropriately. Okay? So, see what happens here? See what happens whenever this volatility stop flattens out. Okay? You got to flatten out here. Whenever this flattens out, right, you're going to get some chop. You're going to get a little bit of chop here. Every time that thing flattens out. See? Flattened out there, you got a pullback. It's either a pullback or a reversal. You chop, okay? They're pushing it back up again. That's okay. But there's no momentum in these things. They're just kind of hanging out. It's at the top of the cloud. At the top of the it's at the top of the VWAP extension. But the cloud, now we're trading below the cloud. That is the first evidence that I see that we're gonna, that things are gonna come back down. If it pierces up above the cloud again, then the long would still be in play. But I would start thinking seriously about getting out of my long here. Again, we're trading we're trading below that cloud. When we come back through that cloud, we haven't gotten a sell signal yet, but when we start trading above that cloud and this thing is flattened out, that thing's been flat for several bars. I mean, totally flat for several bars. We're still in this area up here, right? So, an early, the early guys would be getting out right in this area. The early guys would be getting out of their longs and probably either looking at flipping for a short or flipping for a short right now, because we're unable to pierce this. Unable to pierce this, not able to get to this T+2 high. So, okay, now we got, okay, see, now it's flipped. The cloud is flipped. The 34 is below the 68, where the 34 is above the 68. Now 34 is below the 68. So I would be starting looking for a short. I keep my stop back a little bit, but I'm going to start looking. I'd be starting to look for a short up here. Cloud is red, right up in here. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go short. Here we go. Here we go. Told you. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Boom, boom. Come on. Come on down. I don't know how far it's going to come down. The buyers might step in. I don't think so, but the buyers could step in. You've got all the makings of getting out of your long trade, if not flipping to a short right there. There we go. Now, we've had the volatility stop flip. Okay, we come through that volatility stop. Cloud's red. We come down past this guy, the lower edge of that VWAP extension. Cloud is red. The volatility stop has flipped. We've got a sell signal right here. Came on a little late, but you got a sell signal there. We saw this setting up here. Unable to push up, unable to push up. Now we're selling. And here we go. Come on, baby. Come on down. Volatility stop as flattened out. Okay, now see where it's jumping down. Now you've got a little bit more momentum to the downside. You had nice momentum here where it flattened out. See where those green candles were, but look what happened to the green candles. It didn't go up very far, and then it came right back up here, and the seller stepped in and said, "No, you don't." Bam, bam. And remember, if you remember the Flintstones, if anybody's old enough to remember the Flintstones, I was a kid, but if you're old enough to remember the Flintstones, remember bam, 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 bam. Volatility stops pulling up, okay? There's the cloud. So it would not be amiss to see a pullback up into this area. If we don't get a pullback up in that area, that means that the sellers are pretty darn strong. I wanted to turn that on so I could see you can see the orders down here. Okay, here we go. Nice. Nicely done, market. Nicely done. Here we go. And down. Come on. We need to close. That candle needs to close down. This will point back down. 34, the cloud, 68's red. 34 is red. The cloud's red. Volatility stop is down here. And Princess Autumn, the royalty cat, would like to say hi. Would you like to say hi to my audience? No? There you go. Hi, sweetheart. Yes, Princess Autumn is the princess of the house. She is a beautiful long-haired tabby. And if you're on my Facebook page, you see pictures of her all the time. Oh, you see my position on there. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to particularly do that. I mean, because it's not really relevant. But what I had done is I had taken a contract, is I had shorted the T+2 high before, and then came down and shorted then I reshorted this guy right here, and it pulled back a little bit against me, but that's okay. Hi, princess. See, coming down, and you saw it here. You had it real time, live in front of you. There. Oh, and the here. The trend strength flipped. It started coming down here. You started seeing it come down here, and they tried to push it up, and there was a discrepancy between this. This was coming down. Let me see. This guy was like right across here, and this guy was coming down. So you had some divergence. You had some divergence right there. If I had a nice divergence detector, I'd put it in. I'd put it on there, but I don't at the moment. I may dig one up and find one and put it on there. So there we go. Nice short. You heard it here first. You heard it called real time in Ed's. Well, I would say Ed's trading room, but I don't have a trading room. Everybody's talked to me about that. So, you got to start a trading room. Yeah, I could do that. I could. I like to trade the end of the day like this because you'll get moves. You get moves at the end of the day. Everybody likes to trade the open, but the open's a little crazy for me. Anyway, now we're starting to bottom out. We've run across. See, we're hitting that 90-minute VWAP. We are going to get a reaction there of some sort. Okay, we pull back. See, we pinned off it. Pull back. More downside. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. You know, maybe I ought to do this live. Maybe I ought to do it live. What do you guys think? Mention it in the comments. See what you know, if it would be advantageous to do a live video. Now, see it coming down. Boom, boom, boom. Retest the 90-minute VWAP. Here's your volatility stop. Okay, which should not even come close. You might have a little retest up here, but it shouldn't even come close. The volatility stop is below the 34. The 34 is below the 68. This is a nice, we're looking at a nice move down. We're looking at a really nice move down. So, and let's see, we got daily VWAP down here. We've got previous day high. We got T+2 halfback, which all these things have bounced. It has bounced before, so it's somewhere to watch to get out. But see, perfect. Look at that. And now I called it. I showed you what was going on the screen. I showed you where it went long. I showed you why it went long. I showed you where the pullbacks were to go long. And now I'm showing you here's where to get out. Here's where to go short. You might want to think about taking a short here. And what happened? Boom. Cloud turned red. Had a sell arrow. Had the divergence here, and boom, down we go. So absolutely perfect. Beautiful move down. 1540, we're coming into 1539. We're coming into Mock Madness here in a minute. Was it 3:45 to 4 o'clock? Isn't it 3:45 to 3:55 is Mock Madness? When you get some nice moves at the end of the day. maybe they started early. Oh well, that's okay. See, and then you broke this guy. You flipped. The volatility stop flipped right here. So you just follow it down. Cloud's red. Volatility stop's red. it flipped right here. If you had not gotten out where I told you, remember I said where I told you to get out, right up here? If you had not gotten out right up in this area, okay, then you get out up here, you get out of your long right there, flip to the short, boom, you're good to go. You're a little bit late, but you know what? Trading green is a good thing. So you missed, you know, you're looking at 43.51 to 43.47, 43.48. So you missed 3 points. You missed 12 ticks. Big deal. Okay? I missed 12 ticks in order to make how many ticks to the downside? How many are we up now? So I wouldn't sneeze at that at all. You know? I know guys, they want to top tick the market all the time. Oh, I need to top tick the market. I need to do this. Bragging rights, bragging rights. Who cares? I don't care. I caught this move because it was time of day and I saw it moving up, and it was very much extended from both the daily and the 90-minute VWAP. I knew that it was gonna come down, and we're up in this area here, the VWAP extension. So riding the VWAP extension, eventually it's going to come down. But by that time, you're still in the long from, you're still in the long from back over here. You got a long there. You got the retest of the bottom of the cloud, retest cloud, go long, and then just ride her up. Retest to the bottom and go long, and just it goes up. I mean, shorting into a rising VWAP at this particular point into a rising cloud is just insanity. That's just suicide. But now, look what happens. Now we're popping back up into the cloud. These averages, people go, well, those are special moving averages. Not really. You can use anything. What's special about those moving averages is not that they're moving averages. What's special is that they're linear regression moving averages. Linear regression moving averages are a little bit special. They tend to predict price action. Okay. Now, what are we doing? See that? See that? We're pushing, we're retesting that PM True Open, which I can't remember what time that came on, but I'd have to look that back up. This is Trader Day's thing. Trader Day, I put these levels on these charts because, most of the time they're pretty good. Every now and then they're not, but, it popped back up. It came down and then popped back up the True Open. But now we're popping back down. Now we're retesting, but we're in a red cloud. What are we doing? We're retesting that thing. See how many times are you going to bounce off that level? Just happens to be 43, 36, 75. How many times are you going to bounce off it before you give up and go to the downside? Yeah, we flipped down here. But where's price action going? Nowhere. It seems like every time somebody tries to buy it up, and they're trying a holding action here. I think I know what they're doing. What they're doing is it's 1543. If they can hold it back up here for another 2 minutes, that's a perfect place for Mock Madness to start, so people will start selling it. And again, how many times do we have to bounce off it? You had right there. See that volatility stop flipped? At that level right there, if you'd shorted that level right there or above, anywhere above that PM True Open, between the PM True Open and 36.25 or 36, you had a three tick thing where you could short it. Okay, cool. Now we got a doji down here, which means we're going to go up. We're going to retest this area. Somebody came in and said, I'm getting out of my position. I don't think this is the buyer stepping back in. I think this is just sellers getting out of their positions for Mock Madness. It's 1544. And what happened, we peaked up, a look above, they call that a look above and fail. We looked above and fail at True Open. Let's see if it'll come back down. There's a 90-minute VWAP. It could pop up there. Top of the cloud, 90-minute VWAP. Could pack up there and then sell. But I don't know. See, I said it. I said it. What happened? They popped it back up there. Ah, we're going to retest it 90 minute VWAP. We're going to make Ed a liar here. So, oh well. At least you had the doji to get out of your short if you were going to scalp that. You had the doji to get out of your short. Flip to the long right there. There was another doji. They tried to push it back down. Flip to the long right there. Right back up to that 90 minute VWAP. And we should, crossing fingers, and I know the market makers are listening to me. They're jacked into my phone. We should come back down. Now they're going to make a liar out of me. Watch this. Nope, they didn't. Hey, how about that? They hit that 90 minute VWAP, pinned above the 90 minute VWAP, and in the cloud, and we should come down. The cloud has flipped to the green though, so that's a little bit of a warning that we're gonna get chop. We're gonna get a little bit of chop here. We could go back up. See, as that cloud turned green and stayed green, and the volatility started moving up, that's a little bit of warning, and they just want to go out to they want to go up there and grab that poly level. How about that? We wanted to short that poly level because poly's our friend. Okay, that's cool. I guess poly has influence with the market makers, because it came right to that 4340 poly level and bounced. Should not go back up. This is a nice little look above, and this looks like it's going to be a look above and fail. It might not be. You know, it's starting to, the 34 is coming up, the 68 is coming down, starting to push that. Okay, now we're coming down. Okay, good. See, poly level hit. Now we're coming down. Nicely done. And then the 3468, the cloud should shift to the downside. We should come through the bottom of the cloud. Should shift to the downside. It's 1547, mock madness. So here we go. Now we got a short arrow. We're coming into that 3468 cloud. Come on down, baby. Come on down to the other side. Let's go. I'd sing, but it would probably break my microphone. Actually, I can't sing. I've been told I'm a pretty good singer, but I could sing really low. Anyway, enough of that. Back into okay, now we're back into the cloud. The cloud is, the 68 has turned red, right? So this was green, but this was, but now they're both red. Okay, the 34 was green, but the 68 was red, which told me this was just kind of a pullback, and it was just a squeeze right there to try to fake people out and try to get them out of their shorts. Right? Well, you could add to your position there too. There we go. Now we're going to come down. Nicely done, market. Nicely done. Now, here's where there's the daily VWAP, which is, as you notice, it's between those two lines right there, and those are flat. So if it comes back, it should come back down through here somewhere. That's the daily VWAP is a famous target. So we'll see what happens. See, rejected the bottom of the cloud, but the cloud's starting to move down. See where the squeeze is? And now it's coming together. This is just coming down, coming down. 34's turned red, 68's turned red. They both need to start moving down to get a nice momentum move down. Maybe I'll do this every day. Maybe I'll do this right around the end of the day. There we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Stop. As Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, stop scooting around. Come on, market. Let's go. Let's go. Sell it. Sell it, baby. Sell it. 1550. Okay. Got a pin. Pin to the upside. The cloud. The cloud is trying to twist right here. We had a doji. We had rejection to the downside. They're trying to drive it back up a bit. So, sorry, if you had added here, right? If you had added up here to your short, now it's time. See that? See that right there? Now's that would be, see all those pins down there? That'd be a time to take contract off. If you were short from way up here somewhere, you could add there and then take a contract off there, and then you could re-add up here for short. See how far it'll come. So, hey, if you like by the way, if you like my narration on these things, let me know. How much would you be willing to pay for a room? Oh my goodness. You know, everybody, you know, my nephew, nephew-in-law, my wife's nephew, he started watching my videos. He goes, dude, why don't you charge for this? Ah, see, look, pen, see the pen right off the 90-minute VWAP. He says, dude, you ought to start charging for your stuff. I go, yeah, I don't know. I mean, traditionally I have not charged for anything. I mean, there's tons and tons of free stuff on there. You know, you could call me an aggregator if you'd like, because I've taken a lot of stuff over the years and put it together. You know, the price action, the VWAPs, the VPOCs, you know, all that sort of stuff. See, hey, we got a 3-day VPOC way the heck down here. I don't have a daily VPOC. I might have, or a volume profile. Should have had a drawn volume profile in there, but I didn't. I could have started it at the last swing. And you could probably see these guys. I like drawn volume profiles, or sometimes people have a little bit harder time to see them, to see the drawn volume profiles. I don't have a whole lot of a problem with it because all mine are colored and they're all color coded. And you know, when I get to the red on either side, then I start looking. When I see VPOC shifts, I start looking for longs or shorts. I start looking to flip positions or getting in or out of a position. But they're very, very handy. Okay, so we've got the twist. We got the twist up here, right? We got this to the downside. We bounced off the VWAP. We came down here to the 34. We're pushing back up a little bit. And they're probably, I would suggest that they're pushing it up. I would think they're pushing it back up so that when Chairman Powell starts talking, then we're going to get a really nice move to the downside. But we'll see what happens here. Okay, now we got another reject off the 90-minute VWAP. PM true open, 90-minute VWAP, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's the poly level. And come on. Now, we really need to come down here. Come on. Come on down. There you go. Okay, clouds turned red. 3468 turns red. We got a sell signal again. It's turned red. That's a really, really good sign. As you'll notice, it came down, then it consolidated. This is all consolidation. This is all choppy, choppy, chop. You can scalp this. Absolutely. You can scalp this. But it's all, you know, it's just all consolidation. It's going back and forth. It's bouncing between that, you know, the poly level, the 90-minute VWAP, down, and then down to the bottom of that cloud right there, right in here. So once we bust that, which we should, to the downside, we should bust that to the downside. And let me, okay, once we bust that, see, we're driving back. See a nice, you know, sometimes, here's what the market will do. It's really, really interesting. What the market will do, they'll try to make a move to the upside like that really, really fast, really quick, right? And then it will dry up and move and reverse. And they're trying to suck buyers in to the market. Oh, we're going to go up, you know? And then they buy it, and everybody, you know, slams down on the buy key, and then they let it go up until the buyers drop, until everybody stops slamming on the buy key, and then they'll dump it. You know, the last buyers, the last guy to the party, you know, is the one that picks up the check, right? Well, the last guy to the party on this deal. See, now we've gotten a reject to the upside. So that's above the cloud. It came down here. You can see the dojis coming back up. Should not go past that level, that poly level there, 4340. But yeah, it's like, okay, bam, let's push the button. 1556. We've gotten back into this poly level range, or the poly level right here. Gotten into the poly level. They're starting to bounce it around here. You could have gone, you know, if you wanted to, you could have gone long there. You could have gone at the pullback area right there for a scalp long. Make you some money. It's coming up on 1557. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to Fed Chairman Powell starts speaking. And that's what, I think that's what this consolidation is all about. What this consolidation is right here is waiting for, you know, the big boys are just moving it back and forth and making, you know, $100 here, $100 there per contract. Down $100, up $100, down $100, up $100, down $100, you know, up a couple of points, down a couple of points, 2 or 3 points. You're looking at what, 43.40 to down to 43.32. Oh, well, it was more than 2 points. But you could scalp that for 2 points. I don't trust this up move, even though, you know, you've got the cross. You got the cross here that says we're green cloud, we're going to the upside. Reject, we're going to the upside. Comes back down here, unable to penetrate the cloud to the upside, to the downside. What are we going to do? You know, so they're going to drive it up for a while. Now we start seeing, we're starting to see this flattening out up here. There. Extend drawing. Now we're looking at somewhere up in here. They're unable to push it above that poly level, at least for the time being. They're trying. I mean, we're bouncing off the cloud. That's what is holding this up. We're bouncing off this cloud right here. It's just holding up the market right here. We're just bouncing back and forth here. And it's about a minute and a half till Chairman Powell starts speaking. See what happens. It would make sense that if they were going to short it, they would try to drive it up and try to get buyers, try to get as many buyers as possible. And oh, we're going to go up, we're going to go back up, we're going to go back up. And we could. But this consolidation tells me we're not going to go very far. So let me just draw that zone right there. Okay, so we just got a little bitty consolidation zone here. Let's see what happens. Now, I'm waiting for a flip up here. We weren't able to break, not even come near the bottom of the cloud on this guy. So what that tells me is, yeah, we're going to go up a little bit. But we're still in this consolidation zone. Look at them, they're buying it. 15 seconds before Chairman Powell speaks. Maybe people front running it here. Okay, we just rolled over 1600. Okay, it's 4 p.m. Chairman Powell may start to speak. So you've got a ceiling up here, right? You got a floor down here, right? And just happens to be where that 68 is, right there, 68 and 34. So you got a ceiling and a floor. So you've got a consolidation zone right here. Now you've got an early warning of there's a doji right there, and then we started seeing this. There's another doji up there. Pop it up. It's exactly what we saw before, right? Popped it up, and then we were unable to breach. If we're unable to breach that, we're just going to come back down. Let's see what happens. I could be wrong. Hey, sometimes I am. What did John Rockefeller say? If a man could be right 55% of the time, he could make $1 million on Wall Street and go out and marry a chorus girl. Now, that meant marrying a chorus girl meant something back then, back in the 20s. It doesn't mean as much now, but because most people don't know what chorus girls are. Okay, so now we moved down. We're making lower highs, right? But a little consolidation, lower highs, consolidation, lower highs, consolidation, lower highs. Popped up, ran stops. People that stops up here, they ran the stops. Come down, push back, lower high, boom, consolidation. More consolidation here, right? But we're below that zone. We've got a sell signal here, right? It's still consolidating. It's still waffling around because you can see the the cloud is turning, you know, red and green, red and, you know, this one, it's cloud's red, cloud's green here, cloud's red here, cloud's green here. But see this long area of red? See that short area of red right there, which basically didn't go anywhere? Well, now we've got a longer area of red, right? Which means there's more pressure, more force, more pressure to push this guy down. I don't know what if Chairman Powell's gotten into his speech yet, but it's only been, you know, 2.5 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Everything's flipped. This is a, like I said, you know, this is a, just because you get that doesn't mean to short it. Wait for the pullback. You know, it's an indication that, you know, you need to wait for a pullback in that candle there before you can short it. And if it looks like it's, you know, if it looks like it's supporting short, go for it. And that's what some people just haven't, you know, some people never understood that. You look at the candle when that comes on, or when this one comes on, you look at the candle before. What's going on with the candle before that? What's going on with the candle before that? That's a level. That's a level, right? So if it trades above that, you take the long, right? If it doesn't, you know, and you obviously not going to trade into that, you know, into a VWAP. That's crazy. That's just crazy talk for those fans of Firefly, which was one of the best science fiction shows on TV. Okay, so now you're seeing the 34 and the 68. Look at that. They were starting to curl up, okay? But we weren't able to pierce that 34, which is right at the 90-minute VWAP. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it'll come down. I have no idea what Chairman Powell's going to say, but again, this is consolidation because the big boys are just they're waiting for the opportunity. Okay. Now, let's see if a drawn. I'm going to put a drawn volume profile on here just real quick, just to see if it tells me anything. Okay. So what that tells me is, oh yeah, there. See that red, all that red area up there. Okay. You had reject to the downside. There's very little interest in trading that right there. Very little interest in trading that whatsoever down here. Okay. Lots of volume up here, but again, it hit the top of that. See, no volume at the top of that. There's nothing there. Okay. Where's your VPOC? Your VPOC is right here. See that purple line? That VPOC's right there. So that's at the top, almost at the top of this guy. So between VPOC and here, I would say that, you know, that VPOC, let's see, it came down, went up, came down, went up, you know, and this is consistent with CHOP, okay? This is absolutely, you're seeing your VPOC on a drawn volume profile go back and forth, very consistent with CHOP, okay? Now, as long as this VPOC stays up here, you're good to go. You're golden. You're golden for the short. Okay. So let me tighten this up a little bit because I just wanted to see what it looked like. I'll put that at the top of this guy. See the VPOC's still there, right? See that VPOC is still right there. It moved down a little bit at that particular point. Let me move it back. Okay, there. And I like to put it, you know, whoops. I like to put it at a point where, what's my last swing? Well, last swing was right there. Okay, so move down, which makes sense. Move down, it's going to push it up. It should flip back up to push price down if it's going to go. And that's one of the cool things about if you put a drawn volume profile on your chart, if you took a timed volume profile on your chart, watch those volume profile or the VPOC swing, VPOC moves, the shifts. Shifts down, generally speaking, VPOC shifts down, it's going to go, it'll drive the market up. VPOC shifts up, drives the market down. So as you can see here, we just, and it kind of depends on where you draw your volume profile, and I get it, right? So if we put it here, See, it shifted down here, and then it shifted down right here. You can see the VPOC right there. And it drove price down. It was driving price down. So there's value area low right there. There's value area high. The value area high is moving down. Value area low is just sitting there. So again, we need to pop below value area low. Very, very little volume, very little interest in coming back up here at all. You've got some volume. You got some volume down here, but not a tremendous amount. But you got far less volume up here. So I don't think this is going to go back up. I think it's going to come down based on everything I'm seeing on that chart. Now, what you're seeing here, you see that 68 moving up, but we're starting to cross. Okay, we're starting to cross just like we did here. That tended to drive that price up a little bit. Well, we're starting to cross here to the downside. The volume profile is it's not supporting it yet. We're right there. That VPOC we're right there at that VPOC, which was at 43.36. So we're just sitting there at that VPOC right there, which is where all the, VPOC is where all the volume is, right? Where all the interest is, right? Now it shifted down. When it shifted down here, it's all the way down here in this area, which usually means they're going to pop it back up a little bit, right? They may not. They would pop it back up to value area high. Remember, interestingly enough, the market tends to go from value area high to value area low, and that tends to be different on each session. So a good instruction would be to put say a 90-minute volume profile on a chart, right? And just every 90 minutes, instead of the 90-minute VWAP, just put a 90-minute volume profile on there and just watch how many times does it come up to value area high and bounce, how many times does it come up to value area low and bounce. How many times that VPOC shift drive price up or down, right? So we'll see what happens here. And I like to, I'll do this and I'll move it back and forth to see, okay, have we had oh, whoops. Let me just put that there. I'm going to show you guys kind of a cool thing. Volume profile settings, okay? Now if you go back through and you say end date, 0, end time, 0, and do that, it'll stick it to the end, right? Wherever this is, it'll stick it to the end. It'll walk down as price, as things develop, right? So we just pinned off value area low, right? So pinning off value area low, there's a VPOC. See, I told you, like I said, it tends to drive price up, right? So, and they're driving price up. Where are you going to go? Well, there's value area high right up here, okay? Value area high has moved down. So we'll probably, I would, judging from this drawn volume profile, I would say that we're going to go back up to value area high, maybe that 90-minute VWAP, and then bounce, and then come back down. But this is a very, very, very small area right here to trade. A lot of consolidation, a lot of chop, a lot of, if you were going to scalp this for a few ticks, great. Scalp it for 4 or 5 ticks, great. Scalp it for anything else, not sure. So what's happened? My trend says we're down, right? Everything says we're down. This is a temporary push up. We're about to cross over into the downside. My 90-minute VWAP is up here, right? It says it's green and it's going up, but price action is below that 90-minute VWAP. So number one, below your 90-minute VWAP, short. This guy down here, short. This guy, your drawn volume profile says you're coming up against value area high, short. 90-minute VWAP, short. So, you're going to run, I think it's going to run out of steam up here. But it all depends. Chairman Powell is 12 minutes into his speech, and I haven't seen the market do a darn thing. So maybe they're just not ready. I was hoping to do this and continue this video into Powell's speech, and just to show you what, if we could call price action, if we could call it. But I guess maybe not. I'll run this thing a few more minutes and say to 1630. And then we'll upload it and see what you guys think. See what kind of comments you have. See what you guys think. Oh, the flip, right? The volatility stop has flipped to the downside, so that supports the short too. So everything on that chart tells me short. It tells me this is a temporary move up. It's going to excite people that have no idea what a volume profile can do, especially one of those drawn ones. So here we go. We're at value area high. We could pop above it and run. It's concerning, that 34 and the volume profile. See if we shift it a little bit. I can move this forward, which is really cool. And you can see, of course, now it's just choppy, choppy, chop. But VWAP, the volume profile VWAP is moving up at that particular point right there. So VWAP's moving up. We're going back up, 90-minute VWAP. We're above value area high. See if we can find a place where that would line up. Like, for example, that swing. And that's where the typical place you would put it at like a swing high or swing low. Pin it there and then see what happens. Sometimes when you move it around, it doesn't zero that out. So you got to zero it out manually just to see what's going on. See, and now see where the VPOC is? The volume point of control is like right here, right? What did we do? We ticked up one tick above that value area high. Now it looks like we're going to come back down, which was where the 90-minute VWAP was. Yeah, we're going to come down. If you guys don't have drawn volume profile on your charts, you can simulate it, but it's a very nice, very, very handy tool. That gets, the volume profile. This volume width percentage, I usually leave it really low because it's just distracting to see a bunch of these things sticking out there. Okay, end date and end time. Okay, that's good. There. Okay, so as you see, we put that there. It predicted exactly what we saw. Now, it predicted up here. It came back up and retested value area high, bounced off value area high, came back, retested value area high, and that VPOC, and we're seeing it's because that's where all the volume is, right? And we should come back down. But it's very, very slow. I mean, look at the time. It's 16. It's 16:15. It's 4:15 in the afternoon. Okay, so we're probably not going to see a tremendous amount, even though Fed Chairman Powell is speaking. Cool. I have no idea how long he's going to speak or anything else. Anyway, this should break to the downside. I'm not going to make everybody sit here and watch. Just based on where it's pinning off of, pinning there and pinning there. It should come down. The cloud is starting to squeeze. So 3468 is come down, and we still have the volatility stop right there. And that's an ATR based thing. It's it's no different from an ATR based stop. It's no different from Kiwi trailing stop, that sort of thing. So it's not any different at all. They were going to push it back up again. See where that if they'll push it back up to that stop. Did we have a shift? I'm watching that. I'm watching this guy. This may be that 90-minute VWAP flip there. But anyway, I'll let you guys do your thing. It's the end of the day. Mice down, drinks up, right? I can't remember who said that. I think it's Chai Girl, one of the oil traders in Chicago. I think that's what I think it's her line. You know, mice down, drinks up. So we did not have any interest in here. Right up here, you can see that. So driving that up, I don't see that's going to go anywhere. It could, but I don't see it go anywhere. We are above VWAP. Look at that. Market's going to try and make a liar out of me. Powell might have said something interesting. It's driving that market up. See, we came down. I didn't notice this before, but we came. See the VPOC? VPOC pinned off of VWAP right there. So that would tend to drive. Price up. The VPOC shift is not a guarantee, by the way. It's an area. It's an action that is of interest. You want to watch that. And I did a video about a month ago on the VPOC shift, so you might want to look into my channel and see that. But as you can see, we'll see where this bar closes. Maybe another stop run. Again, you know, you've had this, which is of concern. Now the moving averages are starting to move up and separate. So we may have a little bit more action to the long side. Sometimes it's tough to tell, simply because this is aftermarket, you know, and it's getting really slow. Let's see where this bar closes. If it closes back in, we're going to come down, because I've been watching this guy. See this guy? And we've got all that right there on that candle, right? And then we have less interest on it. They tried to drive it down with a lot of volume. Up-down volume ratio was larger than anything else that we'd seen on this down move. And they weren't able to do it. So logically, and we're value area low, okay, logically we should see a drive up, which is exactly what we saw. And we are down at the bottom of the cloud. Bounce off the bottom of the cloud, you know, there's the twist, the cloud twist, where it flipped, and now we're going to go upside. I had the volume profile on the way, and I can take that volume profile the way. There we go. Okay, I can take that volume profile the way. We're still within this guy, right? So, I mean, you don't need the volume profile. It's another tool to show you what's going on in the market. I kind of like it, but you know, you can use the cloud. Look at the cloud, right? Bounce, pins off the cloud, pins off the bottom of the cloud, pins off the bottom of the cloud. What's it going to do? It's going to go back up. Very handy tool. And all you got to do is wait. All you got to do is wait. See, for example, right there. All you had to do, if you don't know what to do, just wait. Okay, where are the pins? The pins are at the bottom of the cloud. Go long, right? You got a doji, go long. Pushes back down, so what? Go, you know, you're still going long, right? Even now, you push down right here. Look at that. Look at the cloud. See, cloud, just the bottom of the cloud turned green. So that's even more, even more confirmation. You could have waited for that. You could have waited for that. A pin through the cloud, pin through the green cloud. Boom, goes back up, right? If you're holding your long from that position, you know, you're looking at 43.33. That's 6 points. You're up, you know, 6 or 7 points to the upside. It's not a bad move. I mean, you'd have to sit there for, you know, 45 minutes or so, almost 45 minutes to get that move. Well, guess what? You know, it's the end of the day, so you're going to see that. But if you're determined enough to do that, or you got an algo, you know, you got an algo sitting there running, yeah, there you go. There's your buy. 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 Scalp, nice scalp move. Nice scalp move. So you want to watch the tops and the bottoms of these clouds and see how does price react to the tops and the bottoms of the cloud, of the cloud. And there we go. See, back upside. More upside action. Anyway, I sincerely hope this has been instructive. If there's too much stuff, if you see too much stuff here, that's okay. Let me know. Let me know. Are you a position trader? Are you a scalper? Or what is your predisposition? If you like to scalp, I can make scalping videos. If you like position moves, I can make position videos. I don't do swing trading, so I'm a little useless when it comes to swing trading because I'm just a day trader. At the end of the day, I'm out. So, also, if there's something on this chart that you saw that I missed, for example, you can see the switch, the flip here. See where that started to move back up, where that and that corresponded to the 90-minute VWAP moving up. So there was your long to the north side. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Any comments, any suggestions, anything? I do read the comments. I don't always respond to them because of time constraints, but I do watch those comments and I do read them. So anyway, I'm going to close this guy out and let you guys do your thing. Oh, look at that. It's trying to push to the upside, but there's no volume behind it. Right there, right there, right there, right there. So we should come back down. And that was the area that we're at, and there was no volume. There was nothing, no interest up there. Looks like. So it looks like we're going to come back down. But again, it's 16:25. It's 4:25 in the afternoon, New York time. So things are going to get really, really, really slow. Anyway, hope this is helpful. See y'all.